Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I have no clue what I am doing. I have never used watercolours in my life. As you can see, I'm actually opening these. I got these to do a set with something else. That's going to come later because this kind of superseded. This was not planned at all. Me and one of my gamer friends, we were talking and he said to me, oh, how about if I give you a theme? You know, you could do it on your channel, like each month. Somebody puts something in one of the comments and says, hey, how about this theme for, you know, a set that month? And I was like, oh, it doesn't really work like that because I film a lot in advance. Or, hey, I'm open to suggestions though. You know, if anybody's got something in particular you want to see and want to give me a challenge, I am totally up for that. And that's exactly what he did. He said to me, I want you to make a set of nails that involves fish. Fish? Really? Fish? Of all the things that you could possibly give me, you challenge me to fish. What? And I was like, he's like, what, you're not gonna accept my challenge? You're gonna back down? I was like, no, challenge accepted. I'm not backing down on this. And I thought, what the hell can I do with fish? And then I remembered I bought these decals. And I bought them for my sister, basically to do a set of nails on her because she loves koi carp and that kind of thing. And that was where the inspiration started. So the theme I was given was fish. I found these water decals, which are 3D water decals. And I was like, right, what am I going to do with this? And I thought, you know what, watercolours. Let's give this a go. Because trying to make a sea, trying to make water with, oh God, that's a challenge and a half. Right, it really is. So I don't know the right technique for doing watercolours. As you know, I am very raw, I think, very real. This you come on my journey with me. So this is my journey. This is me from the very moment I've opened a watercolour paint. This is what's going to happen. This is me doing it. So I decided I was going to come in with, because with watercolour you've kind of got to build it up, I think. It's not the same as, like, I've used, I'm going back to like GCSE art, right? I've used oil paints and I've used acrylic paints in that. That is about my limit. I've used stained glass paints. Yeah, I've never used watercolours. I haven't even looked at a tutorial about what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with them. Well, no, I tell a lie. I have watched 2 YouTube videos because it was giving me an idea, which is how I ended up buying the watercolours in the first place. So I bought the watercolours about 3 weeks ago. Possibly more than that. It was on my Amazon wish list for my birthday because I always tend to get birthday vouchers for Amazon. And so they were on there because I wanted to try some of this aquarelle. I don't know how the feck you say that. That seemed to be water colours. So I'd watched kind of like these little demos, but they don't speak in them. So it's a little bit hard as to what the hell you're supposed to be doing. But that's about my snippet. I've watched probably 2 videos that lasted about 15 minutes in total. So what I kind of gleaned from those videos is obviously you're working very, very wet. You have to let one colour dry before you put another colour on top of it. I know that should make sense anyway, because, you know, and you can kind of blot out the colour if it's too intense. So there's a lot of blotting involved. So I've doubled up my kitchen roll underneath this so it doesn't go through to my paper towel. So what I wanted to look at was kind of like, you know, if you put your head underwater, as though, like, say you've got almost like a fish tank, you know, you see it like a piece of glass, but imagine if that was in a pond but you had that film, that glass in front of you, and you were seeing that kind of snapshot of a pond. That's what I wanted to do. I said to my friend, for God's sakes, you know, don't expect anything epic here. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. You've given me fish, for God's sake, you know. But oh my God, I was so chuffed with this. I really was. I'm using 2 different blues. So I've got a light blue and I've got a darker blue. And I am trying to, it's almost a little bit like working with, what are they called? I want to say oils, they're not oils, inks. Yeah, it's very similar to ink. So you know when you put ink on and it kind of spreads and it moves, and you use the acetone or the IPA to get it to kind of disperse where you want it. It's very similar principle, but you're using water. And it's a lot more controlled. Not that it looks in this, but I didn't want it very same on each nail. I wanted the randomness. I wanted the effect. I wanted to try and blur it in, if you like. Like I say, this wasn't planned. This was literally 5 minutes after I was set the challenge. I sat at my table and I thought, I'm going to give this a go. And I was like, I'm not going to record it. This is going to be awful. It's going to be horrific. And my hubby was like, no, just record it anyway. Because the whole point of you recording this stuff is to be able to see what you're doing and how you can improve upon it. So I was like, okay, I'll set it up, but I'm not going to be paying any attention to it. I'm just going to let it go. There was a couple of things I learnt whilst doing this. So I did all of this work on this, and then when I come to fill in the white part, it kind of goes a little bit wrong because the bottom half had already dried. So you've got to build it up. But the great thing is that if you want to blend it together, if you want to merge those half lines, you just add a bit of water. You can kind of what's the word I want? Reinvigorate it. That sounds wrong. Reuse it almost. So like with, you know, with a lot of paints and stuff, once they're dry, you're kind of stuck with it. But this isn't. You can remanipulate it. That's it. That's the word I want. You can remanipulate the product and add more and get it to flow more. I'm coming in with a brown as well towards the bottom, because obviously that's going to be the bottom of our pond. So you get the sediment and everything at the bottom. And then I had no idea what I was going to do for the top. I was like, I'm really liking the effect of the water. I mean, Jesus, of all the things I could choose, I've got fish and water, for God's sake. I can't draw a fish to save my life. I am not good at drawing. Even at school, I was very abstract. I liked sculptures. I liked, you know, carving stuff. Like I say, for my GCSE IT, I did a sculpture that was made out of clay, and I did a stained glass window. And yeah, we had to do a painting, which I really didn't enjoy doing the set stuff. And like I say, my biggest problem is trying to explain what the hell I'm doing, which is the part I actually don't like about a lot of videos, is trying to explain what I'm doing. Because for this, I don't know what I'm doing. I sat down and I'm just experimenting and I'm just flowing. So I needed the water to be darker at the bottom, because it is always darker at the bottom of a pool. But then towards the top, you've got the sunshine coming through. It needs to be lighter and have kind of more greens in that. So I'm adding a mustard yellow and I'm adding a really dark kind of foresty green. And then I'm coming in the blues, and you just have to keep working it. So you could just see me dabbing and dabbing and dabbing, because there's too much product on there. It's the colour's gone a bit wrong, and so you can just dab it off, add a bit more, wet it in. You want to wet your brush, but not overly wet your brush. So just dampen your brush. And if you need to take stuff, you just dab it. So with acrylics, you have pat and press. With gel, you have wiggle and tease. Okay, with one stroke, I don't know, actually, I haven't worked that one out, but this one is dab dab. Okay. Yeah, one stroke's almost like pokey, pokey, pokey. Because you slowly move your brush round. I really haven't, we've seen my one stroke, okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with this, but this is definitely more dab dab. That's what I'm going to go with. And I am just doing exactly the same effect on each nail. This is the background to the nail art. And the funny thing is, I said to my hubby, what am I going to say for this video? I'm like, it's probably going to be the most untalked video that I've ever produced, because I don't even know what I was doing, let alone explain it. And here I am, I've waffled for how long? Yeah, I'm good at waffling. I got a bit cocky with this middle finger, because the other two I was like, oh yeah, I know the pattern. I know what I'm... No, I don't. I don't know what I'm doing. And I really had to work some of them. And like I say, you can come in, because when I looked at some of it, there was still some harsh lines. And I was like, that's too harsh. Yes, I want the darker colours. I want the mix, but it was too much. So I just dampened my brush, remanipulated the product. That is just awesome. I totally got that line. Woohoo! Whoop whoop! And I just keep adding and taking and just, fiddling with it until I'm happy. There's me showing my husband what I've got so far. He was like blown out by what I did. Because we haven't finished this. I play with this a lot. And you know what? I was so happy with this. I sat there and I just looked at him and I had tears in my eyes. He was like, oh my God, do you not like it? I was like, I'm just so chuffed. I'm just so happy at this point that I totally went out of my comfort zone. I have never tried. And just the effect, what I got as the end result was better than I could have possibly anticipated. If I get thumbs down for this, I really don't give a feck. I don't give a feck about my thumbs down all the time, because it's the same people. I know who it is. Just, this is a win moment. An absolute... I was doubting myself. I doubt my abilities a lot of the time. And, you guys help me so much, because you may just think, oh, I just put the same comment on each video. It doesn't. Your feedback to me of going, oh my God, Shona, that was an awesome time, that's so different, or I absolutely love that, it just gives me a nice little boost to go, do you know what, somebody liked it, I've inspired somebody else. This is my art, and it's nice to get a bit of love. And it really does boost me up. The guy who sent me this challenge, when I showed him the result, he was like, my God. I was like, yep, I did not anticipate that coming. Hopefully you'll agree when we get to the end of this video as well. So it is a long video, but I didn't want to cut and paste. I want you to see the evolution of this design. I'm going to shut up for a little bit and just let you watch for a bit. Okay, so I've just come in and I've added a bit more brown just to the bottoms because it needed a little bit more on some bits. I think obviously trying to do this on a gel polish. I did take the tacky layer off my gel polish, by the way, just before I started. But yeah, I just wanted a bit more on there. You got to kind of trust the process. Got to do the background before we can do the other bits. Again, I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, but it sounds good, so we'll go with it. So now that this has dried, I'm going to come in and I'm just using a very small brush now, and I'm going to add some greenery under there because, you know, there is plant life under the water. I don't want anything huge and really in your face. I just want a little bit. So that's what I'm going to come in now. So I've used 5 colours. In this, I've used a dark green, a brown, a mustardy yellow, and 2 blues. And I probably could have used less colours, but, you know, I had all those colours in front of me and I wanted to play with them. And still, I only used 5. So I'm going to let you watch this now. Okay, so now I'm happy with my foliage underneath my water. So now we need to put the finishing touches on. I have put base coat over these, so I've waited for that to dry. I've put base coat over all of them. Oh my god, that was a heart in the mouth moment, because I was like, shit, what do I do now? I've done all of this, but what if when I put the base coat on, or I try and top coat and it just smudges it, and I'm like, oh my god. So that first bit as I'm doing it, I'm going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I was like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So I didn't drag my base coat. I normally do quite a thin layer of base coat. I kind of did a little bit more floaty, just in case. Then I've cured it in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then I'm coming in with these water decals. They're 3D water decals. I got them from AliExpress quite some time ago. And then I'm coming over with just some more base coat, because what I've discovered with these is top coat does not stick very well to them. So I put another layer of base coat over the top so that the water decal is then nice and sticky for when I top coat. Okay, and this one, it did actually come in 2 parts. So it was designed to go over 2 nails, because I really struggled. You can see I've cut off quite a few little fishes of going, I don't know which one. I found that some of them, they looked so big for the small nail that I was trying to put them on, and I'm going, this isn't going to work. But we got there in the end. So there we go. I'm just adding the base coat over the top. Now, it is really important you do use base coat to stick these on with to start with. Because they are 3D, they do pop up with a bit of air. You have to stick your finger on them and push them down, basically. Or the air kind of sits underneath and it kind of pockets. And it causes problems. I know because I've used them on my own nails. Yeah, so this is why I do it this way. It's just been the best way that I've found. I'm talking to my husband again there. So I have put the fishes on. Oh, I didn't show you doing the other fish. So there are 2 fishes now on these nails. And then I'm going to come along and I'm going to top coat. And then with these ones, I would double top coat them because we want the floaty over the top. I say just really make sure you get into all of it. And then that's it. That's this design done. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am just so in love with these. I really am absolutely feeling epic right now. So I really hope you enjoy them. As ever, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.